WrestleLost. Can you believe it? King Bad God. Oh. I see that, JR. It's triggered. It's Johnny. It's Drew. Can you believe it? It's going to be a slobber knocker. As they say, anything can happen on WrestleLost. Welcome to WrestleLost, folks.
Ah, yes, she's the dead as here. It's the WrestleLost to be cast.
The sniper.
Here's the name.
Now, hello everybody, and welcome
All
to
right.
WrestleLost. Why the fuck my mic was muted again? I have no clue. When it was on before I hit live, because I was
Yes.
talking to you.
Yes.
But, okay, look, before we start, I know they're probably not going to listen, but I'm going to clip that shit and I'm going to tag them where I can. Restream. Where the fuck is your countdown? Why was my mic muted when it was not? I need answers to these questions.
Right.
Okay. Now that I got that out of the way, I'll say it again. Hello, everybody, and welcome to WrestleLost. It's been a while. We took a little bit of a break. We were on a hiatus, family shit, a lot of different things going on. But we felt like we had to come on for certain reasons. We're gonna talk a little bit about it all, but I'm gonna give the disclaimer right now because there's been a lot of talk going on ever since one of the deaths happened. Hulk Hogan. We know about his last 10 years. We know how much of a racist he was. It's unfortunate that is how, in the end, he will be remembered. But we can't deny the impact he had on the wrestling world.
And I'm also going to go there. It was unfortunate that at the end he was a Trump supporter.
Ooh, I have to turn your mic up.
Oh, okay.
No, because I'm used to turning you up louder on mine.
Uh-huh.
That way I can hear you a little bit better. So,
Do you want me to repeat that?
We're good.
Okay. You need me to repeat that?
No, we're good.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Yeah.
Right.
As far as Hogan goes and his last 10 years, is there anything you want to say about that before we set that aside and get into the rest of his career?
Well, I just don't think he did a very good job of apologizing. This is his wording to. He had that meeting with the WWE talent. What he said was, if make sure what you say because you might be recorded.
Yeah.
He didn't say that he did wrong, or he didn't apologize to certain groups of people.
Yeah. If you just own up to it,
Yeah.
In the long run, it'll help you by owning up to it.
I know Mark Henry and Big E didn't appreciate it.
Yeah, they really didn't. And we're not going to get into a lot of the comments, but yeah, if you know, you know. If you don't, it's everywhere, so you can look it up.
Right.
Like, we're not going to repeat it here.
Yeah.
I don't think that deserves the attention. Even though it's part of his history in the end, and the fact that the last memory of him in WWE is going to be him getting booed out.
Yeah.
While advertising his beer.
Yeah, he came out on it was January 6th of this year. Ironically, January 6th.
Yeah.
It was the Raw debut on Netflix, and he came out to him and Jimmy Hart came out to just to promote his beer. But as soon as he started talking, the booze started happening,
Yeah.
and I I don't even think he got the full promo out.
I don't think so either. He was getting booed more than Dominic Mysterio.
Yeah,
And Dominic Mysterio gets booed a lot. Well,
yeah.
yeah, that's just sad that that's the last moment he'll ever have in WWE. But there was a lot of great moments before.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, sorry.
no, go ahead.
Okay. Well, no, I was going to give a little backstory. So Hulk Hogan was born in 1953. The name Terry Bollea was his actual name, and he was born in Georgia. He actually wanted to become a rock and roll singer. He was in the mid '70s. He played bass in a band, and I guess the band didn't do so good, so he decided, you know what, I'm gonna go be a wrestler, and at that time he said, I'm gonna be the best pro wrestler there is, and it turned out that he actually was uh, not the best in ring performer.
Yeah.
There were a lot better wrestlers, but he was the one who kicked off. He probably is the one besides Vince. Another whole story, but
Yeah.
besides Vince, put the WWF back then on the map in the '80s.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So on in January 1984, he defeated the Iron Sheik in just seconds at Madison Square Garden to win the WWF title, which he held for, I believe, 6 or 7 years. Yeah, 6 7 years before the Ultimate Warrior defeated him. Uh, so yeah, one of the longest reigns in history. I think only Bruno had a longer reign. But yeah, that kicked off the whole rock and wrestling deal. Which we know his entrance music, "Real American," which was performed by Rick Derringer, someone who also recently passed. Uh, and that started, like I said, the rock and wrestling with. They started having deals with MTV, and he would be at the MTV Awards and hanging out with Cyndi Lauper, and they even had a cartoon of him back in the '80s, which I was telling Freddie. I have a friend of mine and from childhood. Shout out to Ernie Salazar. He would come over to my house, and he had those VHS tapes, so we would just watch them. Before I turn it over to you, I'm full disclosure. I'm just going to say I wasn't really that big of a Hogan fan, but you can't deny the impact that he had on the business.
Yeah. You really can't deny the impact he had. I mean, from wrestling to movies to the appearances he made to the attention he brought to the product in and outside of the ring. He hustled hard for
Yeah,
pro wrestling. And I'm not going to say that there's never going to be anyone that's bigger than Hogan because it can happen.
yeah,
Someone can come along that can do something bigger than Hogan, bring a lot more eyes into the professional wrestling world, and who knows what can happen in the future.
right.
But for now, he is the most popular, well known around the world professional wrestler.
Right.
He is more than just professional wrestling.
Yes. So okay, so I have a top 5 of not my favorite wrestlers, but wrestlers who I think if you ask somebody name me 5 wrestlers, these will be the top 5. Like say like Family Feud, like the most answers you would get. Okay,
Okay.
I would say one is Hogan, two
Okay.
is two is The Rock,
Okay.
3 Stone Cold Steve Austin, 4 John Cena, and 5 Ric Flair.
Okay.
Yeah, and there's other too. If you want to do top 10, you could do Undertaker, Triple H, but
Yeah.
those are like the main top 5 in terms of popularity as far as the wrestling goes.
See me? Okay. Let's say my top 5, right?
Yeah.
It's going to sound a little bit weird.
Okay.
My top 5 is a bit all over the place. So, obviously, Mankind,
Yeah.
Mick Foley. He has to be. I'm not in no particular order. I'm just going to
Okay.
name my 5.
Okay.
Mick Foley, because of his risk-taking abilities, we all know. And if I'm going to have Mick Foley there, The Undertaker has to be there because he was the first mainstream one of his kind. He is the one that pushed the envelope in that method of professional wrestling, and it really captivated the audience. Terry Funk,
Okay.
for his hardcore abilities. Again, the Mick Foley route with Terry Funk, because he was the guy that bled literally buckets of blood for professional wrestling. And current day, obviously my boy, Bray Wyatt, because aside from The Undertaker, he was the next in line to take that throne. And for the 5th, yeah, Hogan.
Okay. Well, so not to put your list down, but my list was based on the names that people would think of when you say when you ask somebody who doesn't know anything about wrestling would say,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
right. In terms of popularity, all time popularity.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Popularity.
yeah,
So that list might have been my all-time. If I'm gonna
okay,
go popularity, yeah, The Rock, Stone Cold, Undertaker,
okay,
Triple H, because he went through various different companies, and now him pretty much in charge of WWE. People are gonna know his name a lot more now. And yeah, Cody Rhodes.
okay,
Cody
yeah,
Rhodes, man.
yeah. Current day, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Because he's out there a lot more now.
so back to Hogan. Uh, so back in the 80s, you had the rock and wrestling thing. Also, WrestleMania wouldn't be what it is now, if it wasn't for Hogan.
Yes.
Vince took a gamble with the first WrestleMania in '85, and Hulk Hogan was the main event. He teamed up with Mr. T against Roddy Piper and Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff. Because this wasn't long after Hogan was in Rocky 3. So
I was still in diapers.
yes, yeah, yeah. I was I hadn't even started kindergarten yet when
Yeah.
when that mania happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. So uh, and then WrestleMania 2, he faced King Kong Bundy. WrestleMania 3 was the big one, at one of his first really big matches, which was him against Andre. I know if you've seen the clip, you know, I always know that clip as soon as I hear Gorilla Monsoon say the irresistible force meeting the immovable object. And that match, Hogan slammed Andre. Andre, I think, was about 500 pounds at the time. And yeah, Hogan got him up over the shoulder. It was a quick slam. He couldn't keep him up for that long in the air.
Oh yeah.
But it was more of a scoop slam. But yeah, he got him up. He dropped the leg drop, which isn't the prettiest of finishing moves,
Yeah.
but that was his preferred finishing move, and he beat him. Uh, then you go on. He had a year long storyline, which you don't see that anymore. A year long storyline with Macho Man Randy Savage, where they were a team at first. They were the Mega Powers, and then uh, Macho Man got uh, started turning on Hogan because the Macho Man, well, he thought that Hogan was, going after his wife Elizabeth, and then Macho Man betrayed him on Saturday Night's main event. They had like I said, a whole year long storyline over that.
Yeah. And just to go back a little bit and talk about Hogan, Andre the Giant, and obviously the biggest thing that happened in the match, which was the scoop slam
Yeah,
that everybody knows.
yeah,
Everybody that knows professional wrestling knows about the scoop slam.
yeah.
And this isn't a shot at Andre the Giant. This isn't anything, not to be anything negative about him, because much respect to Andre the Giant, as much respect to Hulk Hogan. But if you've heard any of the real behind the scenes stories of Andre the Giant, he probably shit himself when it happened. Because he had that problem.
Well, he actually had a lot of problems at the time.
Yeah.
Good job on Hogan for working the match to make it look like it did, because Andre at that point could hardly move,
Yeah.
and he was in a lot of pain. He passed away probably another 7 years later.
Yeah. Yeah. He had a lot of issues, but that was one of them. He was really not in control of himself when that match happened.
So you're saying Sid wasn't the first one to shit himself at WrestleMania?
No, he was not. It was Andre. And hey, look, it happens.
Okay? Yeah,
It happens.
it happened. It happened to CM Punk.
Yeah, it I'm pretty sure it's happened to a lot more people that hit it pretty well.
I think I remember Edge saying it happened to him one time when he was coming out the rope.
Yeah.
In white pants.
Yeah. Oh, white pants. Out of all the pants.
Yes.
White pants.
and not. I know we're diverting here, but that's what we do here. I know. I think it was Mark Henry told a story one time that D'Lo actually accidentally. Or no, it must have. No, it was the Road Dogg that D'Lo accidentally like diarrheaed on him. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't even want to begin to try and think of what wrestlers' diarrhea is like, because with their diets and shit,
You're right.
like it has to be pretty damn hardcore of
Yeah.
diarrhea, bro. That's other levels of diarrhea. Right
All right. So, do you have anything else about that match?
Not about that match, but just about Hogan in general,
Uh-huh.
because everybody has something that they're going to remember about someone the most.
Yeah.
And I already talked about this to you earlier. And I think what I'm going to remember most about Hogan, outside of the big moments, like the Andre the Giant scoop slam and all that.
Right.
What I'm gonna remember the most is the build up and the match between him and The Rock.
Yeah. So okay, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
I want to go chronologically here.
Okay.
So that's pretty much the 80s. He had his big title for title match with Ultimate Warrior at WrestleMania 6, IC title versus world title, and Hulk Hogan actually won was the first one to win back to back Rumbles in 90 and 91. Uh, then he went on to he defeated Sid at WrestleMania 8, WrestleMania 9. He actually wrestled a tag match. It was Money Inc., which was Ted DiBiase and IRS Mike Rotunda versus what they called the Mega Maniacs. It was Hulk Hogan and Brutus Beefcake. But that wasn't Hogan's only match that night. So the main event had Yokozuna versus Bret Hart for the title. Yokozuna won, but after that, Hogan came down, challenged Yokozuna, and defeated him in seconds. So he became champion again. But not that long after his contract expired with WWE, and he decided he to go off to WCW in '94. After taking a break because he actually was going to retire, but like they say, money talks.
Yeah.
Eric Bischoff came talking to Hogan. He was filming Thunder in Paradise, which we'll go over all the movies he was in too. But just a second, hold on.
Small break right now as someone from Johnny's family had something to tell him real quick. But as soon as he gets back, I want to bring something up about Hogan that they didn't think would happen after his passing, but it just ended up happening right now. So I currently have on AEW Collision because I I wanted to watch what happened, but I can multitask, so it's all good. But Johnny, you're back, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So with Hogan and AEW, Tony Khan said he didn't want Hogan to do anything with AEW just because of what he was going through,
Right.
what he was talking about.
Yeah.
And one of the things we talked about as soon as Hogan passed was they have to acknowledge it somehow because you can't deny what it is. Again, you can't deny the impact of Hogan. So it was a little surprising that they didn't say anything on Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
But
Well, wait a minute, but it hadn't happened yet.
oh, duh. I don't know. My days were all mixed up. Ozzy was Tuesday.
Yeah, we'll get to Ozzy too.
My days are all mixed up. Sorry, but
It's been a long week.
yeah. They just had Tony Schiavone cut a little message to the Hogan family.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, I'm glad that they did it because there was a rumor going around that Tony wasn't going to let them acknowledge Hogan.
Yeah, because at one point Tony had banned both him and his wife from attending AEW events.
Yeah, but I'm glad they let Tony handle that.
Yeah,
and I try to catch as much as what he said because you were going at the same time as Tony was going.
oh, okay.
But from what I caught, he just sent his condolences to the Hogan family and said that the impact of Hogan and the impact Hogan had, AEW wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Hogan either.
Right, which is actually actually something I was going to get to, because we talked about his impact in the 80s. He also had impact in the 90s. So, and I've heard people say this, and I agree. If it wasn't for Bash at the Beach in 1996, WWF would never have the Attitude Era,
Yeah,
because at Bash at the Beach '96, that's when Hogan turned heel and lined himself up with Scott Hall and Kevin Nash to form the NWO, and that it's, set the wrestling world on fire. WWF had to come up with something else to make sure people would tune in, and that's how you got the Attitude Era.
hell yeah. And
Yeah.
we all know what the Attitude Era
Oh
brought.
yeah, this is
It,
probably my most favorite time I've ever had watching wrestling.
oh yeah.
Attitude Era.
So the Attitude Era, if only we had the chance to redo it. Imagine Attitude Era WWE in 2025 running at the same time as AEW.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not to degrade or put down the product of WWE right now, but if you were to be able to do what they did back then right now, that would be a hell of a time. Again.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we're never going to get that sort of feeling again, but we lived through it. So I'm happy. I am happy that we got to live through it.
Oh yeah. So Hogan was there until 2000 with WCW, but at the time he had a falling out with Bischoff and Vince Russo, who took credit for the Attitude Era that we just talked about when he was in WWF, but that wasn't his idea.
No.
But he was also in WCW. He had the book, and he was terrible. And there was some controversy where Hogan was going to win the title by just what they call the finger poke of doom. And
Yeah.
I believe it was Jeff Jarrett he was going against,
Yeah.
where he was supposed to just poke Jarrett. Jarrett falls over. Hogan just steps on him and gets the pin and wins the title. But Vince Russo went off on him at a pay-per-view, in front of the live crowd, and Hogan got pissed off. He quit and threatened to sue. And it wasn't long after that WCW shut down. Hogan didn't immediately come to WWE through the invasion, because a lot of those guys had the guaranteed contracts, like Sting and Hall and Nash, and so they didn't need to work. But eventually those contracts ran out, and Hogan returned to WWE in 2002 as a part of the NWO with Hall and Nash. That they had a little run there, and he had probably his best match in that year at WrestleMania 18, which they dubbed Icon versus Icon, with Hulk Hogan versus The Rock.
Hell yes.
And it was they called it a passing of the torch. And the Rock got the win. After that, Hulk Hogan, he turned back into face. He got rid of the black and white NWO, went back to his red and yellow. This was the period when he would come down to the ring to Jimi Hendrix. I don't know if you remember that.
Oh, I remember.
and he had he had a tag title run with Edge. He had a feud in 2005. He turned again, but this time on Shawn Michaels. They had a match at SummerSlam. And then that year, he was also inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. He's actually a two-time Hall of Famer because he also went in 2020 with the rest of the NWO.
Yeah.
And so uh, after WWE, he tried to, get back into it. He joined TNA in 2010, and him and Eric Bischoff, they tried to recreate the Monday Night Wars, but it wasn't successful. But yeah, that's pretty much Hogan and wrestling.
I had to search something real quick.
Yeah.
I should have searched it up earlier,
No.
but just
So,
give me a second here.
so okay, I know right now we got this whole Grande Americano thing in WWE.
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan also had a mask gimmick back in 2003. He called himself Mr. America because there was a story where Vince had fired Hulk Hogan, and so Hulk Hogan disguised himself, but you could tell it was him because he still had the mustache and the voice.
Yeah.
But he would always deny to Vince that he was Hulk Hogan. And he even took a lie detector test and passed.
Yeah. And since you brought up Mr. America,
Yeah.
I have to reference this because
Okay.
this is something that happened during the week.
Yeah.
First of all, Drew, how dare you again go on vacation with your family, sir? You should be here. But also, the dad jokes. Drew is a dad. So here come the dad jokes.
Okay.
He's like, how dare Mr. America pass away on the same day as Hulk Hogan? That's what he came to me with. That was his dad joke. And then I'm like, all right, Drew, I got you. But yeah.
I mean, so I know we're going to talk about him in a minute, but Drew's birthday was on Tuesday, so Ozzy Osbourne died on his birthday.
Yeah. And for those that know, I've mentioned it on here a couple of times. More than a couple of times. As a guy that has his birthday on one of the most fucked up days ever.
Yes.
I texted Drew that day, and I told him happy early birthday on Tuesday, so I didn't feel bad texting him and saying, boy, your birthday now is fucked up, bro. Because now his birthday will forever be linked to the passing of Ozzy Osbourne. As my birthday will forever be linked because it's on 9/11. So I was able to do that for him and tell him, hey, you have a shitty birthday. Welcome to the club. So I had to send him that text that day. But he knows it's all in unfortunate, good fun. That's what we do between us. So I just had to tell him.
Yeah. All right. So, any more thoughts about Hulk Hogan? Because I pretty much went through his career, but
Yeah.
yeah.
So the only thing I'm gonna say about Hogan, now that we've gone through all that, and my obvious moment that I'm gonna remember him for the most would be that whole build and match with The Rock.
Right.
To all the people that are trashing Hogan, I get it. Trust me, I do. Because even in the times we're at now, with racism the way that it is in this current administration, not going to say his name. Trust me, I get it. But we also have to remember that Hogan is from a different era.
Yeah.
There was different ways of thinking. He was brought up in a different way. That's all I gotta say. That's really all I gotta say. If you want to voice your anger, you can voice your anger. Just don't trash the man. Because he wasn't always like that. So we can't act like he was always like that.
Right. You got to separate the man from the legend, from the wrestler.
Yes. And that is something that I have said many different times about many different people. You got to separate the real person from the star and the impact. So, yeah, that's really the only thing I have left to say about Hogan. What a legendary career. And in the end, he is I'm gonna I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna put out a phrase that Tony Schiavone just said. In between all the bullshit, we forget that he was still a human being. And we can't forget that. Human beings make mistakes. Unfortunately, he made one of the biggest mistakes, but we can't forget that he was a human being. So, RIP Hogan, thank you for everything. Because literally, thank you for giving us professional wrestling in the way that it is now. Because if it wasn't for you, it wouldn't be in the spotlight that it is. So we have to thank him for that.
I agree.
So now, unfortunately, on to the next one, which is truly more no, I wouldn't even I don't know if I want to say more sad, less sad. It's equally as sad. It was just a bad week, as we mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
Our Prince of Darkness. Oh, man, that was a rough one on Tuesday, my dude.
Yeah, we were on lunch at work, and we started getting all the news notifications from our different apps saying that Ozzy Osbourne had passed away
Yeah,
at the age of 76.
yeah. For me, Ozzy Osbourne, I can separate it into different chapters. I can pretty much say it's two different chapters for me for Ozzy Osbourne. Because for me, first came the music. And someone on Twitter said, it's unfortunate that he's gone, but he's never really gone because his music will live on forever. And that
Right.
is the sentiment that many people have said with many different people. Kurt Cobain, we're always going to have Nirvana's music. Chester Bennington, we're always going to have Gray Days, and we're always going to have Linkin Park. Chris Cornell, same thing. We're always going to have his music.
Yeah.
So, as sad as it is that they have passed away, we have the music to go by. And I know there's been a lot of questions about, I'm not going to say the word, it starts with an S, assisted,
Yeah.
I'm going to say it. But
No, just yeah.
yeah, we all know he had his final concert. Was it 3 weeks ago?
Uh, 2 or 3 weeks.
2, 3 weeks. I would say it's like 3 weeks ago now. And what I heard about that concert, and you've heard the same thing, is he was off of his meds because he didn't want to feel bogged down by them. he wanted to be fully in Ozzy Osbourne mode during the concert and for his final time here on Earth. So he wanted to be off his meds. He wanted to be himself, and fully understandable that you want to be like that for your family, for your fans, for your friends. And they put on a hell of a show in memory of Ozzy and for Ozzy. So yeah, his final song being "Mom, Mom, Coming Home." Yeah, I'm just never watching him sing that song the way he did in the end on his final time as his final song. It's always going to hit different with me,
Yeah,
as well as with Johnny and many other people.
yeah. Uh, I mean, we e- even heard them play that song on the radio at work
Yeah, and
just yesterday.
different times on my phone as well, even though I'm not supposed to be playing stuff, but oh well, who cares? I'm going to do it anyway. Yeah, it's just it's like the impact that Hogan had, except for the music side
Right.
of things. But not only, but there's also a lot of similarities between Hogan and Ozzy because of their professional careers and the impact they had, but also in the reality realm of things.
Oh yeah, that's something we didn't cover.
Yeah,
Hogan Knows Best in the early mid 2000s, which after his WWE run, his second one, and before the TNA, uh, yeah, that introduced us to his family, Brooke and what was his son, Jack?
what was it? Nick.
No, that was Ozzy. Never mind. Yeah,
Yeah,
Nick. Yeah,
Nick is Hogan.
yeah, right. Yeah, but Ozzy was similar.
Yeah,
Ozzy, they had the Osbournes on MTV around the same time, maybe a few years earlier than that.
I would say it was a little bit earlier.
Yeah, because I can remember they actually made a cameo in one of the Austin Power movies.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, that too.
yeah. So like early 2000s, maybe late 90s. Yeah, but
So
yeah, they had the Osbournes.
yeah, so those are my two different chapters for Ozzy. Is there's going to be the music, and then there's going to be the Osbournes, which I can't say I'm a reality TV person because there's only been a couple of reality shows that I've watched.
Right? Yeah.
So Hogan Knows Best. I watched the majority of that. I watched all of the Osbournes because I freaking loved it. Couldn't stop watching. And then, don't judge me, Jersey Shore. I love that trash.
All right, it's all right. Yeah,
Hey, look, it is what it is. You love what you love.
yeah.
Those are really the only three reality shows I could say I fully watched for the most part. So yeah, those are going to be the two different chapters of Ozzy for me. And I don't know how many of you are familiar with the movie Lords of Dogtown. Johnny?
I remember seeing it, but it's been a long time.
Okay. I've seen it many a times.
Hmm.
I've watched it recently. I think it was last week that I watched it. So, and there are the dogs. They are back. Yeah. But in one of the first major skateboard scenes in Lords of Dogtown, they decided to use Iron Man. And the thing that I felt being in the movie theater, watching this movie, and all of a sudden, I'm a bad impression of it. But you'll know the intro now.
Yeah.
I don't need to do it. I sounded like an idiot. But for you, Ozzy, I'm willing to sound like an idiot. I did it for you, Ozzy. If you haven't seen the movie, if you haven't seen that scene, I suggest you go watch it because, man, the hype that I felt while watching that. And plus, I'm a big, I can't skateboard. I'll be honest. Believe it or not, your boy Triggered cannot skateboard. But I am a big X Games fan. I am a big Tony Hawk fan. So I'm a big fan of skateboarding in general. And just to have that song on there, man, I just felt I have a feeling that it felt pretty awesome for Ozzy to hear his song in a movie being used in that way for a very pivotal scene of the movie.
Uh-huh.
But I just felt so happy and I just felt so proud of Ozzy.
So, what was your first introduction to Ozzy?
My first introduction to Ozzy. I've told you the story many different times where I was my first year in middle school and I ended up having to do a project where we had to choose. You either did like a report or you did a video on something that you were truly passionate about,
Uh-huh.
or you did your very own hour-long recording of you being a radio DJ.
Okay.
That was the project. You had to choose which one you wanted to do. And one of my friends that was in the same class as I was like, hey, let's just get together and do like an hour-long session. And we'll just play all the music that we love. And I'm like, I'll let you choose the music. I'll put some of mine in there. But I only have one request. And he was like, all right, what's that request? He's like, we got to do some Nirvana. I had barely started getting into it.
Yeah.
With my cousin. And so I was like, we got to do some Nirvana. And I let him, Christopher, take the reign. He's like, all right, well, if we're going to do Nirvana, then we got to do some Sabbath. And then that led everything from there. So imagine a makeshift studio in a school. Everything. They had everything in there. I went to Schrady.
Okay, this was already at Shady.
Yeah, this was already at Schrady.
Okay.
So, full studio. I didn't know what to do with all those buttons.
Oh.
And to be fair, none of us did. So, we needed a little bit of help in that. But we just sat in there and we just like played Nirvana. We played Ozzy. We played Sabbath. We played a whole bunch of shit. Even like Creedence Clearwater Revival, which you love and I love.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we were doing a school project. It took us a week when it should have taken us a day. And yeah, just sitting in that studio, just listening to all this music, and that's where my introduction to Ozzy happened. Because you know as well the story where my family is very set in their ways.
Yes.
So if I didn't listen to like Hispanic music and stuff like that growing up, that's all I listened to. So I come home with the tape that we made, and they're like, "What is this?" And I'm like, this is what I love. This is what I love. It went from Nirvana straight into Ozzy, and that led into everything for me. So, yeah, being in middle school in that studio room, just going back and forth with Chris's tapes and his CDs, that was where I got introduced.
So I also had other influences in my house. Not so much from my dad's music, the Mexican music,
Yeah.
uh, but all my musical influence came from my mom.
Okay.
So growing up, she would always listen to the oldie station
Yeah.
in the car. So I because of that I love listening to music from the '60s. But around same as you around I guess I late in my middle school years, early high school, I started watching more MTV, and they would have the daily like top 20 countdown of the different videos, and since I did it every day, most days you had the same videos come on, and it gets ingrained in your head, and so I started listening to alternative, and when I was in high school, and like you, I listened to like Nirvana, and as you know, Green Day is my favorite band,
Hell
and
yes.
the Offspring and Weezer and all that kind of music. My other Hispanic friends would make fun of me or give me a hard time because I mean I did listen to like what was then known as gangster rap back then, the Snoop Dogg's and Dr.
Yeah.
Dre, Ice Cubes, and all that. I listened to that, but I also loved the alternative. excuse, excuse me. And that this is around the time Beavis and Butthead was on TV. Beavis and Butthead would always, during their shows, they would watch videos and comment on the videos. And got a cough off, and one of the artists that they would feature a lot on Beavis and Butthead was Black Sabbath. So that was the first time I ever heard Ozzy Osbourne. And over the years, that you would just hear a song come on the radio or on MTV. You would immediately know who it was.
Yes.
Yesterday when they started playing "My Mom Coming Home," all I heard was the first few notes from the guitar. I knew what song they were playing, and
Yeah.
of course, you know, uh, the All Aboard on Crazy Train. That's very recognizable. As soon as you hear that come on, you know what song that is.
Hell yes.
Yeah.
And
So yeah, that was my first introduction to Ozzy was through Beavis and Butthead.
so if I had to add another little chapter to my Ozzy Osbourne fandom, and what I loved the most about him is the places where he would randomly pop
Yeah.
up. Again, Ozzy's a WWE Hall of Famer.
Yes.
So him just showing up at random times on Raw or SmackDown, doing stuff with DX, playing live, all of that shit I loved as well.
Yeah.
But if I had to pick another truly favorite moment of Ozzy, him being in Little Nicky. Shout
Yeah.
out Adam Sandler.
Yes. Yes.
You know,
Yes.
yeah.
Of
Look,
course. Of course. It was. Little Nicky, the son of the devil. You have to have the Prince of Darkness.
damn right you do. Yeah. So if I had to pick another moment, obviously besides the music and besides the Osbournes, it would be just that little bit of the movie Little Nicky. I love the whole movie,
Oh
but
yeah.
Ozzy being in it was truly badass. And
Yes.
I was surprised and happy to see him in it because I remember watching that movie with my parents and they were like, "Why in the fuck are we watching this movie?" I'm like, because it's funny and it's Adam Sandler. Okay,
Right.
that's why.
Yeah, that was back when Adam Sandler had like hit after hit of movies.
Oh yeah. So yeah, I just love all that shit from Ozzy, and it's gonna be really really tough to come to grasp with it in a way because we just can't stop talking about it. Like that time paused itself at work that day.
Yeah.
Everybody was talking about it, even people that normally aren't into that realm of music or entertainment were talking about it.
So we have a coworker. She's originally from Peru, and she was talking to me yesterday. She said, well, this wasn't talking in Spanish, but she said, "Did you like Ozzy?" I said, "Yeah, I did. I did. Yeah, I like Ozzy." She said, "Yeah, I liked him too. I used to listen to him when I was younger. So his music went all around the world."
Yeah. My aunt, who is right now all of 82 years old,
Hmm.
was a fan. Was a fan. She is the one I told you about that my uncle, that's his wife,
Okay.
that would let us borrow their van so we can go to Mexico in comfort.
Uh huh.
And the only thing we would have to listen to was a tape of Creedence Clearwater Revival because it was jammed in there and no one wanted to take it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's them. That's them. So she came to my house. I want to say, like, obviously we're family, so she comes to my house a lot. But she was here, I want to say, like 5 years ago, and we never really like talked music. We just talk about family stuff and family stories and have fun that way. But I was in the shower when she showed up, and I was playing. I think it went from My Chemical Romance to Nirvana to Ozzy, and then it went into Falling in Reverse.
Hmm.
And I walked out from taking the shower, and she was like, I know most of those. I don't know My Chemical Romance, and I don't know Falling in Reverse,
Uh huh.
but I know Nirvana and I know Ozzy. So she's like, we love the same music. And I'm like, but I never hear that from you. Because every time we're like together with the family, it's always, bachata, merengue, like that sort of music.
Right.
Because that's the universal music that we all listen to because of being Hispanic. But yeah, I was just happy to know that I was not the only one in the family who truly loves it. And then there's my cousin who her favorite band is Stained.
Hmm.
So that's along the same realm of that. So yeah, I'm just happy to be able to talk about it, to be able to share my music with people that understand. And I'm glad that people truly loved and understood Ozzy for the person that he was. Because he was truly unique, he was truly one of a kind. And just like Hogan, it's going to be hard to even attempt to replace and fill the shoes that they left.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Yeah, it was just a rough week, man. And
Yeah.
even though they weren't the only ones, Malcolm Jamal Warner, we have to mention him,
Yes.
unfortunately, passed away saving his 7-year-old daughter. 7 years old? She was seven, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Something like
we're
that.
on vacation, and unfortunately, rough current came through, and he went out to save his daughter, and unfortunately got caught in the current and couldn't make it out. So that is also because this is what a lot of this is tied into, and this is the reaction that I'm seeing from a lot of people. These are people from our childhood that we're never going to get back,
Right. Yes.
you know? So it's just sad. At least we can say with the lifestyles that they had, they made it to the ages that they made it to, respectively.
Right. Yeah. Not so much Jamal Warner because you actually never heard anything negative about him,
Yeah,
but Hogan and Ozzy.
they lived a hell of a life, man.
Yeah.
Like I said, different era. And yeah, not gonna focus too much on what all that other stuff was, but we all know what it is.
Yeah.
The drugs, the booze, the girls, the steroids.
We didn't even talk about Hogan
Yeah,
was a part of the steroid trial in the early '90s when the government was suing or took Vince to court.
yeah, yeah. So there's a lot of things that we didn't touch on, but most of the stuff that we didn't touch on was the negative stuff, and we kind of wanted to leave that stuff out
Right.
because we just wanted to keep it as positive as we could. So once again, I'm searching for something that I should have done a long time ago because it's been a while since we've done this. So
So
a little bit rusty here.
okay. So while you're doing that, if you have a favorite moment of Hulk Hogan or Ozzy, whether you're watching us on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch, leave a comment. Let us know. Maybe we'll read your comment next time we're live.
Yeah, just leave it in the comments or send us a DM and all that, and we'll bring it up. We're gonna be doing some live streams
Yeah,
again next weekend.
next weekend is SummerSlam.
Yes.
Yeah,
So we're going to be doing a watch along to SummerSlam, and we got Triple Mania coming up,
yeah,
which a lot. No, I wouldn't say exciting, anyways, because we really love lucha libre. But with something that happened very, very recently, yeah, it definitely stepped the game up for AAA and Triple Mania, I think. And again, this goes back to our childhood because it's someone that we watched from a very young age. Both us young age and him as a young age. So I'm gonna go ahead and share this real quick to end on a little bit of a positive note.
¡Fuera! Pero ahora las cosas van a quedar con estos hombres. ¿Quién está? ¡Oye! ¿Quién está
Oh wait, I know. I have to stop it. Of course. So let me go a little bit full screen on it, see if that helps the view
there
a little more. There we go.
we
All
go.
right.
¡Fuera! Pero ahora las cosas van a quedar con estos hombres. ¿Quién está? ¡Oye! ¿Quién está subiendo al ring?
¿Qué es esto? ¿Quién se metió? Security, ¿dónde está la seguridad?
¡Se metió! ¡No! ¡Es Dominic Mysterio!
¡Dominic! ¡Dominic!
¡El campeón intercontinental! ¡Ya golpeó a Dragon Lee!
¡No! ¡Qué momento! ¡Gracias, lucha libre! ¡Gracias, Triple A!
¿Qué está pasando? ¿Tiene el megacampeonato en mano? Pues creo que uno más
se quiere sumar a esta fiesta. No lo puedo creer. ¿Qué está pasando esta noche? Mamá está mala. Mamá está mal. Se va a ver frente a frente. Tiene el ya bajaron al hijo del vikingo. ¿Será que en Triple Manía puede pasar esto? Vamos a escuchar a Dom. Dirty Dominic Mysterio está en Triple A.
Todos ustedes dicen que son los mejores, pues en Triple Manía se corona un nuevo rey. En Triple Manía, cuando les gane a todos ustedes, me corono como el rey de los luchadores. King of the Luchadores. Los veo en Triple Manía, perros.
Señoras y señores, es oficial. Próximo 16.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it ends there.
So,
They ended it right. They cut it off right when he was going to say the date.
yeah.
But it is August 16th. That's when it's going to take place.
Yeah.
So we'll be doing a watch along as
Yeah.
well.
He's gonna face Vikingo for the Triple Money or the Triple Mega Championship.
Yeah. And I think it's also, God damn it, what's his face? I should be remembering his name. But it's not a singles match. It's a multi-person match. El Grande Americano's in it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's going to be really, really interesting because when it was just El Grande Americano and Hijo del Vikingo, I was like, it's Hijo del Vikingo, right?
Yeah.
That's what I would say. But now that Dominic is in the mix, and the pop that he got when he unmasked himself. Whew. I don't want to sound old because I don't feel like as much as, there's some aches and pains going on because we 40, bro, and then some, with Andrew and with you.
Yeah.
We feel it at times, but we're still young, man. We can still have fun. I'm going to Falling in Reverse in a couple of weeks. Okay? I'm fully prepared to lose my voice and feel like shit the following day. But guess what? I'm going to have a hell of a good time at the Falling in Reverse show. So, yeah, I just feel really proud of where Dominic is at. Because coming from being the little kid during the custody of Dominic with Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero, to making his debut, to wanting to be a real professional wrestler, to the mommy storylines, to all his ladies, because he's had a lot of ladies in wrestling.
Yeah.
I'm just proud to see his development. I'm proud to see where he's at. And if I was the player, I'd put it on Dominic. I would go from the reaction that he got and capitalize on that.
Well, we'll see.
I hope so, man. I really hope that's what they do.
So next week, does he lose the title to AJ?
No, he's double champ, bro.
Double champ?
Yeah,
Okay.
he's double champ, bro.
Yeah.
He goes in there and he leaves with both titles, bro. Yeah, I think he retains against AJ because he needs that momentum going into the match.
Yeah.
So he retains against AJ, and I say you put it on him. You put it on him, man. Oh, I'm just ready to see what happens now. I'm so excited for Triple Manía.
Yeah.
Yeah, an unfortunate week. but we wanted to end on a positive note. So, plenty of awesome memories with Ozzy and Hulk Hogan. And just remember, man, let's not fight over it. They are who they are. They were who they were. There's no reason to fight over it.
Right.
So I know it's going to happen anyway. But yeah, we just wanted to come on here and share our stories, share our thoughts on it, and give our condolences to the Hogan family, to the Osbourne family, and to everyone this week that unfortunately lost them. Because from what I'm seeing, holy shit, I just put my cup in front of the damn fucking camera. I was like, what's wrong with my view? But yeah, we just wanted to come on here and give our quick thoughts, give some memories that we had, and just make our way back into doing this. Because I'm not going to lie, I miss this. I miss this, man. So we're going to have a couple of busy weeks coming up. Hopefully we keep on that routine and the family stuff starts to get more under control, and yeah, just get back into that routine, man. So I was happy to do this, man. You got any closing thoughts before we wrap this up?
No, just say rest in peace to those that we lost this week.
Yeah.
I know as the older we get, unfortunately, the more people that we idolized growing up, we're gonna lose.
Yeah. And it's never going to get easy, but with people around to share the fandom and talk about the fandom that we had for them and the people that they were, it's always going to help.
Yeah.
It's helped a lot in recent years. So, yeah, was just happy to be here with you, man. So,
Yeah.
back at it again. If you have any questions or comments, wrestlelost@gmail.com, WrestleLost on Facebook. And don't forget to give us a follow on our YouTube, on our TikTok at WrestleLost Pod. And we'll be here next weekend for our SummerSlam watch-alongs. So until then,
Yeah.
hope everybody has a good weekend, and talk to y'all later.